Is 101 facts about the Duramax V8 engine, the diesel that rebuilt GM's reputation and silenced every critic who said pushrod diesels were dead. It wasn't born in Detroit alone, it was forged with Japanese precision and American defiance. So how did a joint venture between GM and Isuzu create a diesel that outlived trends, outpolled rivals, and redefined reliability? From frozen test cells to the world's toughest racetracks, this is the story of the V8 that refused to quit. Number 1. By the late 1990s, GM's diesel engines were running out of excuses. They were noisy, smoky, and slower than the competition. Ford had Power Stroke, Dodge had Cummins, GM had apologies. Number 2. The 6.5 LV8 was once a workhorse, but by the mid-90s, it had become a punchline. Buyers wanted power and refinement. GM offered reliability with a side of regret. Number 3. Executives realized patchwork fixes weren't enough. They didn't need an upgrade, they needed a resurrection. The order was simple: build a diesel that could change how America defined power. Number 4. In 1998, GM looked overseas for help. Across the Pacific, one name stood out: Isuzu, a brand that lived and breathed diesel. GM reached out, and the unlikely partnership began. Number 5, together they created D-Max Ltd., a $100 million joint venture in Moraine, Ohio. Half GM, half Isuzu, and built from pure ambition. It wasn't a contract, it was a handshake between pride and necessity. Number 6, Isuzu handled combustion science and injection systems. GM took charge of casting, assembly, and North American logistics. The project was a marriage of precision and production scale. Number 7, the mission wasn't just about power, it was about redemption. GM wanted to erase decades of bad diesel PR with one flawless engine. Strong, quiet, clean. 3 words that had never shared a sentence before. Number 8. For once, marketing stayed silent. The engineers led the charge, designing an engine from a blank screen. They called it the cleanest sheet GM had ever touched. Number 9. In 1999, a prototype was shipped to Isuzu's Hokkaido test lab for a 500-hour stress run. The challenge: prove that American castings could survive Japanese precision standards. Engineers monitored it day and night: oil temps, vibration, fuel atomization. When the run ended, the fax back to Detroit read just 3 words: "It runs beautifully." That sentence echoed across GM's halls like an anthem. Forged in Japan, refined in America, the Duramax was born of 2 worlds. Number 10. GM officially named it Duramax 6600. The number stood for its displacement, 6.6 liters, but it symbolized something deeper: a full reset of GM's diesel DNA. Number 11. The early prototypes were tortured across America. From frozen test cells in Alaska to red-hot climbs in Arizona to high-altitude passes in Colorado, the Duramax endured more punishment than any GM engine before it. Number 12. Inside GM, the project was nicknamed Harmony. The idea was poetic: 2 nations, 2 engineering philosophies, working as one heartbeat under a cast-iron skin. Number 13. When the first Silverado prototype fired up, silence filled the test cell. No clatter, no shake, just a steady hum that didn't sound like a truck at all. Engineers stared in disbelief. The old 6.5 growled. This one purred. Number 14. Pride became part of production. Every worker at the Moraine, Ohio plant signed their name on the first block, an unwritten oath that this one wouldn't fail. Number 15. When the Duramax finally launched in 2001, GM didn't just release a powertrain, they unleashed a comeback story. Waiting lists formed before the first trucks even hit the lots. Number 16. During early desert testing in Yuma, Arizona, a prototype overheated mid-climb. The team refused to call it a day. They stayed overnight, rerouting airflow with duct tape and borrowed fans. At sunrise, it charged the hill again and reached the summit without a hiccup. Diesel runs on coffee and stubbornness. The first Duramax didn't beat the desert by luck, it did it because no one went home. Number 17. By the time production began, dealers were begging for stock. GM couldn't build them fast enough. For once, the market wasn't skeptical, it was impatient. The Duramax had proven it could exist, but what made it legendary was how it worked. Beneath that cast iron armor lay the smartest diesel GM had ever built. Let's open it up and see why the Duramax just works. Number 18. The Duramax wasn't overbuilt. It was properly built. Every piece had a reason to exist. Nothing was decorative. Everything was deliberate. That philosophy became its secret weapon. Number 19. At its heart sat a cast iron block so rigid it could handle boost levels that engineers weren't even allowed to talk about in meetings. They knew what they'd built, an engine that could take punishment and ask for seconds. Number 20. Beneath each piston, oil jets sprayed cooling lubrication during long pulls. Those tiny streams of oil kept temperatures stable, ensuring that 10 hours of towing felt the same as 10 minutes of idling. Number 21. The cooling system was a masterpiece. Split-flow passages ran through both heads, balancing temperature like arteries in a living organism. Hot spots, the silent killers of old diesels, were gone. Number 22. The variable geometry turbo was the brain's right hand, fast to spool, quick to breathe. Instant torque replaced turbo lag. The moment you pressed the pedal, it didn't hesitate, it obeyed. Number 23. Multi-pulse injectors were the soul of refinement. Instead of one loud bang per stroke, they fired multiple tiny bursts, smoothing combustion and reducing clatter. Diesel didn't just run quieter, it sounded confident. Number 24. The electronic control unit became the translator between human and machine. It adjusted timing and fuel delivery in real time for altitude, load, even throttle position. Diesel intelligence had finally gone digital. Number 25. On paper, its torque curve looked like a flat highway, 90% of peak torque from 1,600 to 3,000 RPM. In practice, it felt endless. No surge, no drop, just steady pull that made heavy loads feel light. Number 26. In 2000, a prototype was strapped to a dyno for 1,000 continuous hours. Engineers wanted to see what broke first, the motor or the machine. Halfway through, the dyno stand cracked before the engine did. They stopped the test, signed the stand with a marker, "He lost, we didn't." Machines fail, obsession doesn't. Deidre Turner. Power impresses people, endurance humbles engineers. Number 27. Its compression ratio, 17.51, was a work of balance. Low enough for smooth starts in sub-zero mornings, high enough to squeeze every drop of energy from fuel. Cold, clean, and efficient. Number 28. Even the oil pan wasn't an afterthought. It doubled as a structural brace, absorbing vibrations that used to rattle older diesels apart. The engine didn't just resist stress, it used it. Number 29. The head gaskets used triple-layer steel, a small change that solved decades of diesel headaches. What was once the Achilles heel of heavy trucks became a forgotten issue. Number 30. The Allison 1000 automatic wasn't just paired to the Duramax, it was designed around it. It learned every driver's habits and adjusted shift points in real time. Diesel power with manners. Number 31. Each injector was built for 250,000 miles of life. Many outlasted the trucks they powered, still ticking perfectly in scrapyard engines. That kind of reliability turned junkyards into treasure troves. Number 32. When stock engines hit the dyno, they consistently made 10% more horsepower than GM claimed. The company called it safety margin. Owners called it honesty. Understatement had never sounded so loud. Number 33. Mechanics noticed something rare even after 200,000 miles. Compression readings stayed within factory spec. That wasn't chance. That was metallurgy meeting math and shaking hands. Number 34. In 2004, GM's Duramax test fleet completed 1 million miles across 12 trucks. No failures, no rebuilds, just oil changes and filters. When the final truck returned to the plant, engineers hung a sign on the windshield, "Still running." That wasn't a slogan, it was proof. Engines fade with age, the Duramax just settles into stride. Number 35. The Duramax had proven that strength didn't require bulk, and technology didn't mean fragility. It was scientific precision wrapped in mechanical soul, the rare case where computers and pistons got along. The Duramax proved strength through science, but soon, that reliability escaped the lab. When gearheads and dreamers got their hands on it, the Duramax didn't just power trucks, it powered a movement. Welcome to the takeover. Number 35. The Duramax wasn't just an engine, it was a passport to horsepower. Suddenly, diesel wasn't a tool, it was a statement. Number 36. Word spread fast through truck meets and internet forums. The rumors sounded impossible smooth, idle, instant throttle, bulletproof reliability. And then videos started proving them true. Number 37. Tuners discovered that a laptop could unlock another 100 horsepower in minutes. What used to take a wrench now took Wi-Fi. And nerve. Number 38. Diesel trucks were no longer just farm equipment, they were street predators, outpacing cars half their weight. Power met precision, and the stereotype died overnight. Number 39. Grainy early 2000s S-Clips showed 8,000-pound Silverados humiliating Mustangs on the drag strip. The crowds laughed first, then stared. The smoke told one story. The stopwatch told another. Number 40. The Allison 1000 transmission became legend. It shifted through mountains of torque so smoothly that drivers started calling it the invisible gear. Number 41. Diesel drag events began popping up everywhere, small town strips filled with smoke, cheers, and disbelief. People came for the noise, but stayed for the surprise. Number 42. GM didn't need to advertise the Duramax anymore. The internet did it for them. One dyno pull, one viral clip, one converted skeptic at a time. Number 43. In 2004, a Michigan mechanic stuffed a Duramax into a 1970 Chevy Nova. He wanted diesel torque with muscle car soul. On the first pass, it ran an 11.2-second quarter mile. The purists called it blasphemy until it beat their gas V8. Torque doesn't ask for permission. Purists called it wrong. The stopwatch called it progress. Number 44, Duramax swap became a global phrase. If it had wheels, someone tried to fit one in. Miatas, Land Cruisers, even boats, torque didn't discriminate. Number 45. Companies like PPE, Banks, and EIFI Live built empires supplying parts, tunes, and dreams. The Duramax wasn't just an engine, it was an industry. Number 46. Junkyards transformed into treasure hunts. Wrecked Silverados became donors for new builds. Every cracked hood hid a second chance. Number 47. In Australia, off-roaders discovered the Duramax fit perfectly under Land Cruiser bonnets. Tough, compact, unstoppable, perfect for the outback. Number 48. In Japan, drifters dropped Duramax V8s into Silvias and 240 SXs. Diesel torque met tire smoke, and the world learned what torque oversteer really meant. Number 49. Across Europe, builders quietly slipped Duramax engines into BMWs and Audis. They looked like sedans, but they idled like freight trains. Stealth performance, global rebellion. Number 50. By 2010, hashtags like If It Fits It, Duramaxes, and Diesel Nation were everywhere. Forums turned into communities. YouTube channels were born in garages filled with smoke and ambition. Number 51. In 2012, a YouTuber twin-turbocharged a junkyard Duramax. Goal: hit 1,000 horsepower on stock internals. The dyno needle crossed 4 digits live on camera. The crowd lost it. The video hit 20 million views. Advertising was obsolete. The internet had found torque religion. The Duramax didn't need commercials. It had Wi-Fi and bad ideas. Number 52. What started as a powertrain became a movement. The Duramax had crossed borders, eras, and expectations. It wasn't just a diesel, it was identity on 4 wheels. The Duramax had become a global obsession, strong, simple, unstoppable. But no machine is perfect. Under all that steel and glory were flaws, quirks, and habits that made it human. Let's meet the Duramax weird side. Number 52. Every legend hides its quirks, and the Duramax was no exception. Behind all that torque lived a few bad habits the kind owners learned to love. Number 53. Early LB7 injectors became infamous. They leaked, they failed, they made diesel techs millionaires. Number 54. Some engines burned oil like incense, 1 quart per 1,000 miles. GM called it within spec. Owners called it within disbelief. Number 55. Glow plugs liked to snap during removal. If you heard a click, you weren't fixing your truck, you were starting a side quest. Number 56. The PCV system fogged intakes with oil mist, creating a sticky art gallery inside every manifold. Number 57. The stock fuel filter housing could trap air bubbles, forcing drivers into ritualistic key cycles known as the Duramax handshake. was number 58. And that piston slap? Cold mornings made the engine sound like a diesel drumline. GM said it was fine, the internet disagreed. Number 59. Radiator hoses occasionally rub through from vibration. Some owners zip-tied sponges around them. Innovation meet improvisation. Number 60. In 2002, a new owner brought his Silverado to a dealer, complaining of a knock. Technicians tore it apart and found nothing. GM later revealed the truth. Pistons slap noisy, but harmless. He renamed the truck Tick and kept driving for 20 years. The noise stayed. So did he. If your Duramax is quiet, check your pulse. It might be you that stopped. Number 61. Intercooler boots blew off underboost, usually at the loudest possible moment. Public embarrassment was part of the tune. Number 62. Early ECMs forgot custom tunes after long idles, turning 600T monsters back into stock commuters. Number 63. Dipsticks refused to go back in straight. Mechanics joked they were GM's intelligence tests. Number 64. The stock clutch in manual LB7S could barely survive a tuned toe torque made confetti of factory parts. Number 65. Even the fan shrouds rattled like percussion instruments. Some owners swore they added rhythm to the idle. Number 66. The crankcase vent smelled so strong that one owner said, "You don't need cologne, just pop the hood." Number 67. Some engines refused to start clean in cold weather until drivers found the perfect ritual. Glow plug twice, tap pedal once, whisper encouragement. Number 68. In 2005, a Montana rancher ran his truck dry miles from town. He coasted downhill for 20 miles, refueled, and it fired instantly. He said, "Guess it's stubborn like me." That wasn't luck, it was loyalty in metal form. Perfection breaks hearts, quirks build stories. Number 69. By then, every tick, leak, and puff had become part of the Duramax's personality. Imperfect, loud, unforgettable. For all its quirks, the Duramax could take punishment better than anything on the road, and soon that endurance left the street and hit the track. Here's how a workhorse became a racehorse. Number 70. The Duramax wasn't supposed to race, it was born to tow. But racers saw potential where GM saw warranty claims. Number 71. Diesel drag trucks shocked crowds with 12-second passes, the smell of torque replacing the sound of screaming V8. Number 72. Tuners pushed them past 1,000 horsepower on stock internals. The block didn't protest it, just grinned and kept spinning. Number 73. Sled pullers found the torque band endless. When others bogged, Duramax trucks simply dug deeper. Number 74. Off-road racers ran them in sand, mud, and 120 DGF desert heat. The coolant never blinked. Number 75. In endurance racing, teams used Duramax engines detuned for reliability because finishing beats flashing. Number 76. The secret wasn't brute strength, it was balance. Every component shared the load like a mechanical orchestra. Number 77. Even the military noticed. Prototype Humvees with Duramax power plants ran quieter and farther than the old 6.5S. Number 78. In 2005, a privateer team entered a Duramax buggy in the Baja 1000. Built in a barn with borrowed parts, it finished top 10 twice. Competitors called it luck until it did it again. Endurance isn't magic, it's math plus caffeine. Speed wins trophies, endurance wins respect. Number 79. At drag strips, heavy pickups embarrassed sports cars. Diesel smoke became the new burnout. Number 80. The Allison 1000 transmission proved its genius here, learning shifts lap after lap until it felt psychic. Number 81. Dyno data showed vibration nearly flat after 1,000 hours of use. Engineering calm under chaos. Number 82. Pit crews loved it. No timing belts, no turbo tantrums, just torque on tap. Number 83. Sanctioning bodies tried to limit them with restrictors. Racers smiled and found new ways around physics. Number 84. Drift teams swapped Duramax engines into imports. Smoke? Yes. Regret? No. Number 85. In 2015, drag racer Shane built a street-legal Duramax truck that ran 9.8 seconds. He drove it home afterward. Spectators called it witchcraft. Power that clocks out and commutes home, that's real balance. You can't cage endurance, it drives itself home. Number 86. By then, one truth was clear. The Duramax didn't just win races. It outlasted them. The Duramax had conquered roads, dunes, and racetracks, but its real victory came later, in the way it shaped everything that followed. Let's look at the legacy it left behind. Number 87. When the first Duramax rolled off the line in 2001, few imagined it would still define diesel a quarter-century later. Number 88. More than 2 million engines built powering trucks, boats, tractors, and even airboats across the world. Number 89. Each generation, LBZ, LMM, LML, L5P, refined, not replaced the original vision, unstoppable torque in a civilized package. Number 90. Even with the rise of EVs, Duramax remains shorthand for strength you can count on. Number 91. GM still sells brand new crate Duramax engines. 20 years later, the factory still prints the past. Number 92. Entire industries exist because of it. Tuning companies, swap kits, aftermarket parts, YouTube channels, and legends. Number 93. Diesel festivals across America host Duramax-only classes. Loyalty doesn't die, it dinos. Number 94. Early 2000s Silverado HDs are now collector's items. They're museum pieces that still pull trailers to the show. Number 95. Mechanics use the Duramax as a teaching tool. Living proof that simplicity outlives sophistication. Number 96. In 2016, a retired rancher donated his 600,000-mile Duramax Silverado to a trade school. Students rebuilt it, drove it to a diesel expo. The same engine ran the trip. One kid said, "It taught better than any teacher." That's what legacy sounds like. 1,600 RPM, steady. Engines fade, Duramax graduates. Number 97. Online communities still thrive. Forums, videos, and late-night rebuilds bound by a shared rumble. Number 98. Families pass their Duramax trucks down generations. Heirlooms made of iron, not gold. Number 99. Rivals study its design quietly because even they know simplicity wins in the long run. Number 100. In 2024, an LB7 owner filmed his odometer rolling past 1 million miles. The engine was untouched. GM engineers shared the clip internally. Viewers called it the truck that refuses to die. That's not mileage, that's proof. The Duramax didn't retire, it just hit cruise control on forever. Number 101. 25 years later, the Duramax isn't just a power plant. It's proof that engineering with purpose can outlive trends, rivals, and time itself. So that's 101 facts about the Duramax V8, the iron heartbeat that rebuilt GM's diesel legacy. From cold labs to desert climbs, from burnout pads to family farms, it showed the world that real strength isn't about noise or flash. It's about lasting longer than anyone expects. This is Muscle Cars Revolution. Hit subscribe and tell us which legend you want next.